How can we survive in a complex world with wolves at the gate? How can we see through the masquerades of others and avoid manipulation? By the end of this video, you will understand one of the most powerful concepts of critical thinking, Talebs' skin in the game. Part 1. Skin in the game. With it or on it. Are the words a Spartan mother would tell her son before he left for war, meaning that he should return to her victorious with shield in hand, or a fallen hero, a corpse on his shield. Only cowards throw away their shields to run faster away from battle. No Spartan mother would claim such a son. The ancients understood that a certain level of risk was necessary in life. Hammurabi's law, which was carved into a piece of stone 3,800 years ago and erected in a central public place in Babylon, states that if a builder builds a house and the house collapses and causes the death of the owner of the house, the builder shall be put to death. The ancients understood the importance of having skin in the game as a means of avoiding unlawful manipulation. Having skin in the game implies that you can carry some of the risk associated with the gains of your activity. The Spartan has skin in the game because he risks his life for glory. The builder under Hammurabi's law also has skin in the game. Cutting corners could mean the cutting off of his head. You see what I did there? Your civil engineering professor does not have skin in the game. He gets paid for talking and theorizing with PowerPoint slides, not doing. Your skydiving jump instructor does have skin in the game. If he doesn't teach you the safety procedures properly, you will both end up as pancakes. Your financial consultant doesn't have skin in the game. If you go broke listening to his advice, he will not compensate you and will probably just move on to another client. The chef at the Italian restaurant down the street has major skin in the game. One food poisoning incident at his restaurant could end the family business and destroy his reputation. When taking advice from someone, make sure that they have skin in the game. For their advice to be of merit, they need to take on some of the risk. Ideally, they should be a practitioner and not a theorizer. If they do not pass this test, be wary and do some extra research. Part 2. The agency problem. Imagine you have cancer and your doctor gives you a choice between laser surgery and radiotherapy. The doctor's success is evaluated based on your health during a 5-year window after treatment. Statistically speaking, laser surgery has a worse 5-year outcome than radiotherapy, and hence the doctor would recommend this treatment. But here's the caveat. Radiotherapy tends to create tumors over the long run, reducing the 20-year disease-specific survival rate. After the 5-year period is over, you'll be somebody else's problem. If the doctor was to advise for the laser surgery and you were to die during the operation, a relatively low probability event, he would face career-ending lawsuits. It is in his best interest to advise a less optimal procedure so that he may avoid ruin. When there is a conflict of interest between the principal and the agent, we have the agency problem. Understand, humans are largely biased by incentives. Take for instance the case of the Dead Sea Scrolls. When the first scrolls were discovered, archaeologists offered a reward per fragment to incentivize people to find more. People would then split the scrolls before turning them in to get more money. To make things worse, years later, people are going as far as artificially creating their own scrolls.
Fragments that were purportedly part of the 2,000-year-old Dead Sea Scrolls have been on display at Washington's Museum of the Bible since it opened last year. But now, technical analysis has shown at least 5 of the museum's 16 fragments, including these 2, are likely forgeries.
Steve Green, the billionaire who purchased some of these scrolls, allegedly worth $500 million, is likely more frustrated than the Bitcoin pizza guy. You remember the Bitcoin pizza guy who bought a Papa John's pizza with 10,000 Bitcoins in 2010 for some lols on a forum? A pizza that cost him $90 million?
I just posted on the forum, I said, if anybody's interested, I'm offering 10,000 Bitcoins in exchange for some pizza. And somebody there said, hey, I'll take you up on that offer. So I sent him the 10,000 Bitcoin. I said, okay, here it is. I'm waiting for my pizza.
Yeah, that guy. Incentives run the game, a fact that's blatantly obvious at the corporate level. Take, for instance, YouTube, which started off as a platform where independent creators could prosper and share their unfiltered messages. It's now becoming cable TV 2.0, censoring content to appease its advertiser overlords. It reminds me of the powerful rich politicians and business moguls praising Moloch the owl god in the Bohemian Grove during satanic rituals. But look, that's a story for another day. Here is the key. When someone gives you a piece of advice, be wary if there is an incentive behind their recommendation. Part 3. The Lindy Effect. Imagine that someone wants you to invest in a new business venture. Maybe it's a killer app or a computer software. This person has done their research and approaches you with some profit projections derived from some complicated looking mathematics. What do? How do you know if you are being played? The solution is to apply the Lindy Effect heuristic. The Lindy Effect states that for things that are non-perishable, such as technology, the passage of time is the greatest determiner of future survival. Unfortunately, your grandma is perishable, since she is a human being. I'm sorry, I shouldn't assume her gender or species. But just because she has lived 80 years does not mean that she will live another 80 years. But shoes, on the other hand, have been worn by humans for over 40,000 years, with small changes, mainly for comfort reasons. That's right, those $250 Jordans you rock serve the same purpose as Jesus's sandals. I'm willing to bet that people will still be rocking shoes, or some variation of it, in 1,000 years. According to the Lindy Effect, a book that has been around for 50 years will likely be around for another 50 years. The 100-year-old family recipe, which has been passed down by your mother, will likely stay in the family for another 100 years. My mom showed me how to make these delicious African pancakes called bunzies. Sometimes I make them at 4 a.m. You can bet your ass that that's staying in the family tree. Time equals chaos. Only concepts which are robust enough to survive the tyranny of time are worth it. Things that are lackluster disappear quickly. Going back to our business proposal, observe its merits through the Lindy Effect. Has a similar concept worked before, which is still effective? Or is this another fad, get rich quick scheme that's promised to you by a snake's oil salesman? How about diets and fitness? How can we get stronger and healthier? Do we read 50 of the latest studies on exercise science and nutrition? Confuse ourselves with contradicting information and complex equations made by people with clearly no skin in the game? Studies which are celebrated today but are disproven in 5 years? No, we just do a freaking deadlift. The same movement done by cavemen, only with rocks. We eat a balanced diet filled with vegetables and meat, the same diet that has survived the 200,000 years of human history. A concept that has shown results over time and time again is the only rational solution. According to the Lindy Effect, you should be suspicious of the latest self-help guru jumping around on stage hyperactive. And you should turn to the ancients, Stoic philosophy, which has proven itself for over 2,000 years. That which lasts in time is practical. Thank you, Lady Lindy. So what have we learned? Those with skin in the game have real-world expertise and are subject to risks. The agency problem is largely due to misaligned incentives, and the Lindy Effect can help us determine a scam. Use these tools and I promise you, you'll be one step closer to living and dying well. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notifications so we can see more of each other. Until next time.